Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. We're going to do a quick garden tour. This is the first garden tour of 2021. We'll show you the out back garden, and then I'll show you the new additions to our garden. We added 3 raised beds this year, so we'll take a look at those when we're done. Alright guys, so the first new thing I added was this new arbor. I added 2 of those right to the entrance. And so when you walk in over here to the left, I have different pole beans and long Chinese noodle beans. And I also do have a snake bean planted. I don't know if that's gonna germinate or not, but I have just 1 seed in there as well. So the idea is the pole beans are gonna grow up this arch and come all the way over, and so there'll be beans dangling when you first walk in. Okay. The second thing that I changed in the garden or added is this cucumber trellis. It used to be over to this side, and what I found last year was I couldn't get in between the fence and the cucumber trellis to do all the weeding. So this year I switched it and put it to the middle of the garden. And that way I don't have an issue with getting in between 2 fences to weed. And so far, the cucumbers are doing pretty good. We do have some cucumber beetles that are attacking everything right now. But otherwise, you know, I haven't had any rodent issues, which I did have that issue last year with like a mole or a vole that got into the garden and kept eating my cucumbers every time I'd plant them. So much better this year. Okay, so when you walk in, if you go to the right, over here, this is where I have some squash plants. So I have a golden squash and then 2 8-ball zucchinis. Over here, I have some ground cherries. These are Aunt Molly ground cherries. And the next row over, this is where my sweet potatoes are. So I have 1, 2, 3 plants. Over here, we have, this is another yellow squash. This one was called the Prolific Straight Neck Squash. So I had 2 of those. I have this one there. And then down here, that's the second one that I have. In between those, I have some more ground cherries, Aunt Molly's ground cherries. Okay, and then starting in this corner, we have 2 rows of tomatoes. And then if you look just behind it, right here on the edge of the weed fabric, I planted bush beans all along the edge of the garden, going all the way around. So you'll see that throughout the whole garden. The only spot that I didn't do was just this one front corner here. This is the only spot. Okay. I did just put some sunflower seeds in this corner. I did a mammoth sunflower. I did one in that corner and one in the opposite corner. Okay, so these are all tomatoes throughout here. Altogether in the whole garden, I have 81 tomatoes. So the tomatoes go all the way down to this corner. Then you come around the fence for the cucumbers. And then it's all tomatoes up until roughly right around in this area. That's all tomatoes, and then more bush beans going all along the edge there. Okay, so we'll take a quick little walk down here to where all the peppers are. And this is where the peppers start. So we just have 3 rows. There's 2 of the smaller rows and then 1 long row, the width of the garden or length of the garden. So right through here are all our different peppers. We have a bunch of varieties. I have a lot of sweet peppers, cubanelles. I only have a couple jalapenos. I did actually just go to the store and buy 2 poblano peppers, which there's the one here and one right here. Other than those 2 plants in this garden, everything again this year is from seed. I did buy a couple plants here and there from Home Depot, but otherwise everything's homegrown from seed. So these are all the bush beans going along the edge. All through here, and then more peppers going all the way down. I have some banana peppers, porcini peppers. I have a lemon drop pepper, a Brazilian starfish pepper, all new stuff this year. So those are all in there. What I really have left to do in this garden is I believe I might try and trellis some melons on these 2. I'm just not sure how well they're gonna do once the other side starts growing. I don't know if it's gonna shade out this side or not. And I don't know if it's gonna be too much weight on the arch or the arbor. I don't know if it'll be able to withstand all that weight. But then over here, I still might put some melons over there as well. So I have a couple more spots that I'm going to use up in this garden, but for the most part, this is all planted. I only have maybe like 6 more plants that I could put in this back garden. But this is it so far. Everything's looking pretty good, I think. Alright guys, so we'll move up front and we'll show you the raised beds that we added this year. Alright guys, so we're back up toward the house, and these are the 3 raised beds that we added. There's the 2 here, and then there's the 3rd one right there. So we'll just take a quick little peek. Okay, I have a pot here. This one has 2 tomato plants, and then we have 3 pepper plants. Probably a little overcrowded, but I was a little impatient at the time, so I just wanted to get stuff planted. Well, that's what we have here. And I believe there's a banana pepper, cubanelle, and a large cherry pepper, I believe. Over here are some onion sets. So most likely I'm just going to get the green part of the onion from these. They might form bulbs, but we'll see what happens. Over here, this is all potatoes. So I believe in total I have 7 different varieties of potatoes. I have some blue ones. They're called all blue. I have a Magic Molly. That's a purple one. I have quite a few different varieties, but I did try and get a variety of different colored potatoes as well. But as you can tell, those are doing really well. I've already hilled them twice since they've been put in. Okay. Over here, we'll check out this bed. So this is mostly all my root vegetables with a handful of lettuces. So down here we have quite a few different rows of carrots. And then after the carrots were golden beets and regular red beets. In this bare spot I did have radishes. I had breakfast radishes and watermelon radishes. The breakfast radishes did very well. The watermelon radishes went to seed, so those I already pulled up and got rid of. And then this section is all carrots, and I did some lettuce here in the front and then a little bit more in the back. And I don't remember, I think this is May Queen. Yep, May Queen is the variety of lettuce there. I have some endive here in the middle, and then in the back, I don't remember what this is either. This is Randy's Winter. Here, I don't even know what that says. Landy's Winter. So that's what that is back there. And then going along the back, growing up the fence, I have sugar magnolia peas and just a normal sugar daddy pea. So that's that raised bed. And then if we move over here, mammoth sunflower. Actually, that might be a Titan. I think that's a Titan sunflower. Over here, just 2 more rows of carrots. I have 2 dwarf sunflowers in the back. Quite a few different cucumbers in the back over here. You can just see the leaves right there. I have a cucamelon, and then I believe there's another one over back that way. I have 4 cucamelons toward the center, and then 4 regular cucumbers on the outside. My broccoli is doing really, really well. This is the best broccoli that I've ever grown. So I did get this broccoli from Home Depot, already started, and the same with my red cabbages. So those were the only 3 things that I actually had bought at the store. Everything else that I've grown that you've seen so far is all from seed. There's more broccoli, looking good. And then this is the red cabbage. It's getting big, looks really good. And then over here, I have a blueberry bush in the back. I added a tomato plant. This is a Dr. Wyche's tomato. And then I have a few different peppers. I know I have a large cherry pepper, a lemon drop, I think that's one of the ones in the front, a Brazilian starfish, that's this one over here, and a serrano right there in the back. And it might be a little bit too crowded with that tomato plant in there, so I'm not really sure how this is all going to work out, but we're going to try it. Over here, we also have a couple strawberry plants, and eventually this will probably be all strawberries, but that'll probably be in the next year or 2. And then in the front, I have some spinach, noble spinach. Oh, that's there in the front. And I just added a bunch of seeds. I added parsley, I added some basil, and I added arugula to this bed just a couple days ago. And then another new thing that I got is my green stalk. So there she is, and it's doing absolutely wonderful. And that just has mostly like different greens and lettuces in it, some kale, mustard greens, I have cucumbers, a couple tomato plants I just added, but just little things like that. And then next to it here, this is garlic. There's garlic right there, and then these are shallots. And then in this pot, some more garlic, a couple tomato plants. Here, this is 2 different pots. There's cherry tomato plant there, and then this is all just garlic in here, and the scapes are just starting to form on these. So there's the scapes. So that's doing really well. And then I just added this. This is normally like a herb garden, but this year I'm adding some tomato plants, some pepper plants. We have the Greek oregano in the middle there. I added some blue kale in the back. And I had put some celery over here. I'm not sure if that is going to make it or not. And then I have just another lonely Cubanelle pepper back there. Not sure what I'm going to do with that yet. Over here I still have plants that I don't have a home for. Trying to figure out where to put everything. Eventually I'll be cleaning out the raised bed with the carrots once it's ready to harvest those. So I will be turning that into a tomato and pepper bed as well. More Cubanelle peppers over here. Another broccoli, some more kale. In this back pot I have onions. There's some cucumbers too that are in there, 3 cucumbers. Here's some more herbs, some more onions, a random tomato plant. And that tomato plant, there was 2 in one cell, so I just cut the one out and I stuck it in that dirt, and we're gonna see if it'll grow. I did that last year. And I had 2 of them grow, so that was pretty cool. I want to try it again. Hard to see here, but I do have another 6-pack of peppers that I started. And these are sweet peppers. There's Sashito and a yellow monster pepper. And those were started really late, so I'm not even sure. Those were started really late, so I'm not really sure if they're going to produce anything. But we'll see. Alright guys, so that's it. That's the garden tour. First one of the season. I will probably see you back in a couple weeks and show you where we're at then.